Hello, welcome to my Payday 2 stealth series where I'm going to be stealthing every single heist in the game on death sentence 1 down difficulty, at least attempting to get as much loot as I can before I leave the scene. I figured before I made a video on the heist themselves, I should probably make a video on the build I'm using, how I made it, and what all you can do with the stealth build. As you can see, my detection risk is 3, I have 31 concealment, 40.3 speed, and 35 dodge, making this an all-in-all well-rounded, perfect stealth build. And I'm going to show you how I did it. Alright, now first of all, let's start off with the very basic armor section. Obviously, a two-piece suit or a Letterman jacket in Jacket's case is going to be a lot more stealthy than a full suit of armor, so that's probably what you want to go with for this build. Now let's go over to equipment. I have a skill that allows me to carry two pieces of equipment. I usually go with the ECM jammer and body bag case. That being said, in some cases you might want to bring ammo with you, and dependent on your style of stealth, you might want to bring trip mines so you can use their detection ability. I personally do not like to do that, but I know that some people do. Another valid option is to use the armor case for heists such as No Mercy, where you're going to have to go loud regardless of what you do in this heist. But it's very rare that you're going to be required to go loud like this, so I normally wouldn't recommend it. Now we're going to go over to the primary weapons real quick. Don't worry, I'll get to the perk deck and skills and all of that soon. I just want to do this in order. So, for the weapons, you have a few different choices. I'm currently using the Cavity 9mm submachine gun. It has a very high concealment. Another very valid option is the Kimbo Judge shotguns. These ones can have a high concealment, but obviously it looks like it doesn't because these are not equipped for stealth. I didn't make these guns for stealth. I made these to have fun on a loud build. But you can sure as hell modify them for a good stealth build. Another option that I find to be very valid is the Commander 553 rifle. So, I used to play this game back on the Xbox One, which was very far behind on updates. So, getting dual-wielded pistols was very difficult, and this was the highest concealment assault rifle there is. But obviously, at this point in time, there are a bunch of better choices, but it can still be a valid option if you decide to use it. And moving over to my front page real quick, my personal go-to is Akimbo Shimano compact pistols. They have extremely high concealment, and I honestly just love how they look, really. There's also the OV-9000 saw, which on some heist is practically a requirement to get anything done. I love this thing, but obviously, as you can see, it has a concealment of 16, so the second you equip it, boom, 17 detection risk. So, that means for a lot of heists, you're just not going to have good concealment if you have to use this. Another very valid option is the Plains Rider bow, or if I go into weapons I do not currently own, and I go over to the special section, you also have the English longbow, whatever this thing is, the light crossbow, the heavy crossbow. Like, these are all very valid options because they're all bows and they're all going to have a very high concealment chance. Now, over here in the Akimbo pistols category, most of these can make for a really good stealth build. It's just a pick your poison situation, but obviously I would personally avoid all of the revolvers because, first of all, I'm not sure if they can even have suppressors because I've never tried to suppress them, but second of all, I just feel like they're never going to have the greatest concealment on Earth, so I wouldn't personally go for most of these revolvers. But besides that, there's not really anything else in the primary weapons category that I would recommend other than the bows and the pistols. And there's also that exception of the Akimbo shotguns and the saw. Moving over to secondaries, you have a lot more leniency with what you can choose. Now, I would personally recommend on almost every heist that you use the Judge shotgun because its knockback is probably the most beautiful thing on Earth, and I love it. It is so good for getting you out of sketchy situations, as you will see in my bank stealth heist whenever I upload that. But obviously, if you don't want that, you can use, once again, pretty much any pistol. Most of them are fine, but even here, you also have the option of the OV saw if you have the skill for it, or the pistol crossbow if you want to get a little bit creative. But besides that, there's not much else I would use besides pistols, the crossbow, and the saw. Now, moving on to throwables, there's a few different ones you can choose from. Pick your poison. The Ace of Spades is a pretty good one. You have a bunch of cards that you can throw, and they will stick into things. You also have the Shuriken, similar to the Ace of Spades, throw it, stick to thing. The Javelin, once again, similar situation. Pretty much anything on this row is going to be similar to the Ace of Spades in the respect of it will be good for stealth. Also, I don't see it often, but some stealth builds do in fact utilize the Pocket ECM device, but I personally just don't get it. I don't want to use it. I never would use it. Moving on to your melee weapons, this is once again a pick your poison thing for the fact of, my detection risk barely goes up with any of these, and actually let me take off the saw to show you just how little this affects me. Like, I can equip the golden spoon and still have minimum detection risk, and it is a large golden spoon. So obviously this is a very good one, but even if I find the lowest concealment, which you're going to have to give me a minute on. Now, if you look right here, even the chainsaw, which has the lowest concealment out of any melee weapon, I'm still at 3 detection risk, so I can literally use whatever my heart desires as far as melee weapons go. That being said, if I had to choose a recommendation, I'd either say the Mother Forker or Nova Shank. They are both very good because they are very, very fast. There's also the weapon butt, which is perfectly viable because it has no charge time. You just smack with your weapon immediately. Besides that, if you want to have a little fun with the melee weapons, go right ahead. I do it very often. Finally, we move on to the skills category. Now over here, I have basic forced friendship because more cable ties means less hostages I have to kill. Very nice. Saves me money. Over here in Enforcer, I grabbed Basic Resilience and Basic Transporter. Basic Resilience was just so I could get to Basic Transporter so I could throw bag far. That's it. Now over here, I grabbed Basic Scavenger so I could grab Portable Saw so I can have a secondary saw. I'm also planning on acing this when I get the skill points to do so I can have an extra saw blade and make the saw more efficient. Over here in Technician, I grabbed Third Law, Eco Sentry, and aced Jack of all trades because that's how I'm able to have a secondary deployable. Obviously, if you are not infamy like I am, you may have to grab an extra thing to get up to this point. I had to do it before I reached infamy level 1, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. While I was in Technician, I grabbed Hardware Expert because automatically restarting drills is beautiful. I also grabbed Drill Sergeant because I hate waiting on that stupid drill. And up here, I grabbed Kickstarter so I can smack a drill into working when it decides to not fix itself. And all of these are aced because drill skills are very good to save you time. Over here in Ghost, I grabbed literally everything in Shinobi aced because everything here helps with stealth. Right here, we can pick up items in casing mode. The items we pick up have more value when we pick them up. And it also increases the time before we get detected in casing mode, which is very beautiful. Marking enemies is also good, especially if you are stealthing with somebody else. Over here I grabbed Sixth Sense because the ability to automatically mark enemies even through a wall while I'm standing around for a few seconds is very nice. And also, you get access to all insider assets, and your cleaning cost is reduced, meaning you save money. We also grabbed Cleaner so we can have an additional body bag, And we can also carry an additional body bag on top of the one that we already get from this. On top of that, we can place 2 body bag cases if we have it equipped in the primary slot. Up here I grabbed Nimble because disabling one camera is very nice, and lockpicking faster and lockpicking safes is also so nice because it saves you so much time. I also grabbed the ECM skills. Feedback isn't really a thing that you need, but being able to open doors with ECMs is beautiful. And up here, placing 2 ECMs is even more beautiful. And the duration is increased, which is mwah, along with pagers being delayed, which will save your ass quite a few times. Down here in Artful Dodger, I grabbed Duck and Cover to give myself more stamina regeneration and to be able to sprint faster. And up here I grabbed Inner Pockets Basic to increase the concealment of melee weapons, which is how I'm able to get away with all those melee weapons from before. I also grabbed Parkour because movement speed is always a very lovely thing. All of these are basic because their ace skills just aren't worth it for me. While I'm at it, I went over here to the Silent Killer category, grabbed Basic Second Wind. Not too necessary, can come useful in certain situations, but not great. I also grabbed the Professional because weapon stability is very nice, and the 100% snap to zoom speed increase on silenced weapons is very good. If I have extra skill points at the end of leveling up, I might ace this because accuracy with silenced weapons can be a very good thing in stealth. I also grabbed Optical Illusions aced, being less likely to be targeted by enemies. Not sure if that affects stealth or not, but gain 1 concealment for each silenced weapon is lovely, and reducing the concealment penalty of silencers is lovely. And over here in Fugitive, I didn't really grab anything. There's not a whole lot that I would grab here. Maybe Equilibrium, but it's just not worth it in my opinion. I wouldn't recommend it. Moving on to your perk deck, Burglar. That's it. Nothing else. Just get Burglar, okay? On top of, the very basic things that it gives you the ability to bag corpses faster, and also decreasing your chance of being targeted while standing still and crouching. And then, of course, there's Luck of the Irish. You pick locks faster. I mean, come on. Then we go over to Dutch Courage and answering pagers faster. I mean, seriously, this was built for stealth. And then you go over to Breath of Fresh Air, and what happens? Crouching movement speed is increased. I mean, it's just all built for stealth. It is so amazing. Not to mention blending in. Every perk deck has blending in, but it gives you +1 increased concealment. It's just so good. It is so good. Get Burglar, okay? I heard whispers of one of the perk decks down here, I believe it's the Hacker perk deck, being something that people can try to use for stealth. To that I say, if you try to use this perk deck, you're a psychopath. Burglar. Moving on to the last part of this build, crew management. Believe it or not, this has an impact. So let's go over to crew management so I can show you that quick. You need to have quick. Interacting 25% faster is so beautiful. It is so nice, and it keeps getting increased with every other AI. It's just so good. It's so good. It saves you so much time. Get it. Besides that, Concealer is also very good. 3 more concealment. 3 more. It's so nice. None of these other things really help. Concealer. That's all. And keep in mind, with this build that I have, I am only rank 84. Granted, I have infamied once, but I am still only rank 84, and I have built a well-rounded stealth build at this lower rank. I'm not rank 100, and I am not this super high infamy level, so I'm not using too many infamy points to cheat my way up the ladder. This is just a basic standard stealth build that you could do at any infamy level. Easier at higher infamy levels, obviously, but even the lower infamy levels can make it by with this. So I hope this helps you out. I hope you can use it wisely. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, stay tuned for the videos where I actually go through the heists. The one heist I'm probably not going to do is No Mercy for the fact of you literally cannot complete it on stealth. But besides that, I'm going to try to go through every single heist solo stealth. So, thank you so much for watching. I will see you later.